Welcome to the Morning Meditation by Dr. Earl White with your host, Missionary Joe Consford.
Yesterday on the Morning Meditation, we thought about God's call of Abram and his covenant with him. What a blessing it is to know that even though we are imperfect, God's grace is perfect. Today, on the Morning Meditation, let us put aside the cares and worries of today and meditate together on the strife between Abram and Lot. Genesis 13, 5 through 11. And Lot also, which went up with Abram, had flocks and herds and tents, and the land was not able to bear them, that they may dwell together, for their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together. And there was a strife between the herdmen of Abram's cattle and the herdmen of Lot's cattle. And the Canaanite and Perizzite dwelt in the land. And Abram said unto Lot, Let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdmen and thy herdmen, for we be brethren. Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go to the right. And if thou depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left. And Lot lifted up his eyes, and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Zoar. Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves, the one from the other. The strife between the workmen. This strife was caused by their increased flocks and herds. Our text says the land was not able to bear them. The problem between the herdmen of Abram and Lot grew and became so intense that the best way was to separate it. Sometimes there are Christian workers in a local church who just can't work together. Sometimes separation is what it takes to stop that problem. This happened between Barnabas and Saul over John Mark. This is brought out in Acts 15:36 through 40. And some days after Paul said unto Barnabas, Let us go again and visit our brethren in every city where we have preached the work of the Lord, and see how they do. And Barnabas determined to take with them John, whose surname was Mark. But Paul thought it not good to take him with them, who departed from them from Pamphylia, and went not with them to the work. And the contention was so sharp between them that they departed asunder one from the other. So Barnabas took Mark and sailed unto Cyprus, and Paul chose Silas and departed, being recommended by the brethren unto the grace of God. It is better to separate to stop strife than to stay together and cause friction in the church. Next, Abram demonstrates grace in settling the issue. This is brought out in Genesis 13, 8 and 9. And Abram said unto Lot, Let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdmen and thy herdmen, for we be brethren. Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if thou depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left. First of all, the land was Abram's. It was given him of the Lord. He could have put Lot anywhere in the land he wanted and taken the best for himself. But that is not what grace does. Abram gives Lot the first choice. Abram was a good and generous man. He was that because he knew the Lord. With God's blessing upon him, he could take any place in the land, and God would have prospered him. He knew that by faith. We need to learn that lesson. Some Christians, when it comes to business, it is a root hog or die situation. They will step on anyone that gets in their way. They would never make a decision like Abram did. The reason is that they believe that it all depends on them. When one walks by faith, he believes everything depends on the Lord. He is not afraid to take a risk if he has the promise and leading of the Lord. Next, Lot made a wrong choice. This is brought out in verses 10 and 11. And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Zoar. Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other. Sodom didn't become Sodom after Lot moved in. It was Sodom when Lot made a choice to take that part of the land where Sodom was. The closer one gets to sin, the more temptations arise. In Lot's case, it was not long until he was in the city participating in the politics of that city. At least, that is what many commentators believe. Some believe he was the mayor, if they had mayors back then. It proved the worst possible move that Lot could have made. He lost his wife and family, and he had his 2 daughters, and that was all that was left of Lot's family. After the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot lived in a cave with his 2 daughters in a mountain near Zoar. They got their father drunk and committed incest with their father and had children. This is where the Moabites and Ammonites come from. Wrong choices can cost more than one wants to pay. The last we hear of Lot in the Old Testament is the story here. Did he gain by taking the best of the land? Absolutely not. There are so many wrong choices that one could fill volumes naming them. Believers should never make a choice without seeking the Lord's will in the matter. May the Lord bless these words to our hearts today. And tomorrow on the morning meditation, we're going to think about the Sabbath and meditate on the question, are Christians to keep the Sabbath?
Join us tomorrow at themorningmeditation.com and let's meditate on the Word together.